Om Shanti and good evening. Welcome, Soul to Soul. This is Rose from Inner Space in Glasgow, and we're looking at meditation explained. So we're going to start off with really the most important part of Raj Yoga meditation, and I'll do my best to show this importance. Its connection with the divine. So when we look out and we see the state of the world, and we also look at the state of people in the world and their emotions and their thoughts, it would be good to have someone out of all of this that we can truly trust, that we can trust with our whole heart, and that we feel we can talk to in our mind and share everything, our apprehensions, our fears, our hopes for the future, our safety for the people we love, all these things. So who can I turn to for peace, love, and encouragement? Raj Yoga explains the divine in a way that means anyone can develop natural and a personal relationship with this source of peace. So just think of an energy, the same as ourselves, but it doesn't take a human body as we do, but stays in that stage of peace and power that we didn't know about before, and we didn't know how to know or connect. First, I can see myself as a soul. And then see the divine as another soul. Every human being is a soul, and we're all special and different. We'll never all be the same because we're different. We have different roles to play, different ways of looking at things. So how can we come together in peace? There has to be a great peacemaker who understands all of us, how we have to play our different parts, that we're not all the same. It would be a very, very uncomfortable world if we were all the same. So keep listening and take what is useful for you, because everyone has goodness. And if there is one soul that has all the qualities, the good qualities, and that never changes, that would be the highest soul, the supreme, the one many people call God, the divine, or we could even say the seed, an ocean of peace, love, happiness, purity and power. These are all the things we're looking for, actually. So a fortunate soul will stay open and keep practicing meditation with patience. I need to be patient because it doesn't just happen. Because I have to look at myself, my apprehensions, my fears, my worries, and learn how to appreciate myself and keep myself steady. It's a lifelong experiment and a sign of respect for yourself. And many people have improved their lives with regular meditation. So keep listening and take what is useful for you. It's important to reaffirm that the Supreme Soul is totally benevolent. Only goodness. The divine is gentle and the seed of everything that's positive and good. I can be sure that there is no selfishness. Beautiful, sweet and clean. That's the energy. So the Supreme Soul has the same form as every soul, that includes me. The same form, a tiny point of light. So how can I connect with the Source? How can I do this? I am the soul. And I visualize. I use my mind, use my energy, use my thoughts. I do my best to visualize the point that is God. But where is God? Is this light everywhere? Is this God all over the whole world? Is it everywhere? No. No, it's not. The world of light is beyond the physical world. So I can visualize this in meditation. The Supreme Soul is a point of light within this world of light. The world of light that's out with this physical world. I am a soul, and I can travel with my thoughts to a world of infinite light. I just visualize, think about it, stay calm, stay peaceful. And I can see the Supreme Soul in the world of light. I can visualize this, and it doesn't matter if I can't visualize. Some people don't visualize as much, but they can feel. I feel at home. I feel comfortable and safe, at peace. God is both He and She. He is my father and my mother. So I can begin to experience a strength and a support, and I can also then begin to feel the loving warmth and safety and looking after me feeling as well. The Supreme Soul is unconditional, has unconditional love, and that soul never will reject me. Okay? I think it's probably different for everyone, but when I very first came in connection, I did have an experience of the love of the one above. Just didn't know what to expect, but sitting in a quiet room with red light and listening to a commentary actually, And suddenly the feeling of this feeling in the center of my forehead of being overwhelmed by love. Such a feeling, and that the tears were running down my face. And I didn't have a lot of information to back this up. I was very new. And this was like unbelievable. And I just was blown away. And I walked home very slowly, thinking about this. And that really was my first feeling that there was something here that was absolutely like nothing I'd ever come across before.
It's quite far away, and all the beautiful qualities are so removed from the day-to-day experience. How do I bridge that gap and begin to think of the connection, make it real?
I can only speak from my own experience. My own experience was when I heard about I being a soul and there being a supreme soul, I accepted this. Strangely enough, I just accepted it. But focusing on and getting to know the supreme soul was something else. And I found that all my time was taken up in seeing myself as a soul and being soul conscious. I spent a lot of time trying to keep focusing in the centre of my forehead, and at the back of my mind believing the bit about God, but I'd never really got there yet. And I suppose I had some vision of what that would be like, but I'd never really got there yet. And it takes time. But it doesn't take time to accept. I found I accepted it. If you struggle forever to accept that, you have to have a good look at what's happening there. So I did accept, but I practiced more that I am a soul. And then when you start to follow the ways of Raj Yoga, you see that to have a better and better feeling about yourself. So you start to want to be more calm, and you start to wish to be nicer to people, even if they're not nice to you. You start to practice that, then you feel very successful, even with little things, which can seem dramatically different to what you were doing before, because you never thought of any of that. And so I think a lot of my time initially was taken up with I am a soul, soul consciousness, and practicing a different way of interacting with others. And I don't know when it happened, but one day I wanted so much to actually explore the world. I did explore the world of soul, I have to say, in meditation, but I can't say it was a huge experience of ticking every point of the box and going, wow, that worked for me, because it was just like, whoa, gosh, and I couldn't stay there very long. But then there came a point when I wanted to know more and more and repeat things more and more to myself in my day, and then start to trust. I think I started to trust that this was a really benevolent energy, and that this was the kind of head of the whole world, and that I was one of the children. I was so happy, actually. So I then started to make effort to trust that soul. And I wanted to add into my day. It wouldn't be lots, because it does take time to have strength and steadiness. But I'd add it into my day. a bit of the feeling I had for that soul. I couldn't hold it long, but I could hold it a little, and that little touched me for a long time in the day. But then we practiced meditation 2 and 3 times in the day, maybe more, but at least. And I would go back to that again and just, even for a few seconds, feel that safety, that peacefulness, that calmness. And then your day would kick in again, you know, because you had a whole load of stuff that you're experiencing in real time. And this Raj Yoga meditation is very new. So you can't expect it to become top of the range all at once. It takes time. But because it was like so sweet, actually, the times that you could remember and the feelings that lingered, almost like a fragrance. They lingered with you, and they gave you a stronger and stronger feeling of safety. And thank goodness I found this coming to me over and over again. I started to feel I was a very lucky person to have been able to see this. And then a lot of people will say, and I also said, gosh, why didn't I find this years ago? But we only find it when it's our time. Okay.
The way you're describing the divine, the source, as so sweet, an ocean of peace, that point of unconditional love, these are no doubt beautiful qualities. But again, it's that leap from when I'm in physical consciousness, I'm looking for a strength, a support, a power, a sort of steadiness. And these qualities, although they are very appealing, it's again quite hard to make that shift sometimes, I think, at the beginning, to say that's how I'll get my support from peace and sweetness and unconditional love. So how would you explain that? The power of these qualities, peace and sweetness and love.
I think that what happened to me, again, I'll just talk about my experience, I started to feel special. I think it must be part of the journey to self-respect. I started to feel that, how come I'm so lucky that that one would actually accept me and be making me feel as if I'm loved. And I think that's what we've all been searching for, is love and acceptance, and to regain our self-respect, that we are worthy. Never mind all the bits that we weren't good at, that's part of the journey. But suddenly I'm being accepted for all the bits and the other bits as well, for everything. I'm being accepted for who I am. And so I felt so loved. After a while I was feeling so loved, included, accepted, and then I felt I was being able to understand more and more the things that were good for me, that I never would have thought were good for me, and the things that weren't good for me that I would have thought were just okay. But then I started to think, no, these are not okay, this is not good for me, this is good for me. I feel so loved. So when I feel loved, it brings the love out in me for the one that's loving me. And I started to love that one.
So that feeling of love and trust builds, and then you're kind of touching on, there's then a sense of being guided and being pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
You've got to check what's good, what's not so good.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot to do with our attitudes, like to get angry or irritated, or to pull the self down or to let others put us down is not right. So you start to get the strength to keep yourself up. No matter what's happening, do the best to stay buoyant. And that grows, and it's an inner strength and a deepening of that trust, feeling safe, protected. And in today's world, that's what we need. And I'm glad that I started the journey and developed this trust in that one, because I do feel it's the duty of that one then to look after the children. And we're all the children, all of us. We all belong to that one, is the mother and father. Spiritually. Physically, we have our complications. Spiritually, we're beautiful energies. So, Om Shanti, let us do some meditation. So we sit in a very upright position, if possible, with eyes open, and feel focused and light-hearted, and see the self as that energy in the center of the forehead. Everyone, every soul, no matter what we see when we look out, every soul has goodness, because we start off our journey with our goodness. Then we get concerned and worried and disturbed and peaceless. And there's one who is the seed, the ocean of peace, love and happiness and the power of purity. No selfishness, just beautiful, sweet and clean. And that soul, the one above, has the same form as every soul, a tiny point of light. So how can I connect with the source? I need this information. I am the soul. And I visualize the point that is God. But where is God? There's the world of light which is beyond the physical world. So I teach myself to think what it's like, to visualize. I can do this in meditation. That soul is a point of light within this world of light. And I am a soul, and with a thought I can travel to the world of infinite light and see the Supreme in this world of light. And it feels like home. I am comfortable and safe and at peace. I'm with my father and my mother, and I feel this unconditional love that never rejects me.